The only thing I can assess is that this is that I'm stuck in a genocidal cesspool, and there is no. It does not seem as if the people that are the main cogs in it, the main engaged in it, can self-correct. It seems like in order for the technology that they use to mass murder to correct, it needs correction. But one thing I did get today was about truth. That a lot of people, the Omex people told me that in Sierra Vista. A lot of people think they come as a correction. It's like that's no. There's truth does not require correction, right? Truth is evident, and lie is obvious. So Jesus is not a correction, and I misspoke, or understood. I said, well, I didn't say it was a correction. I said Buddhism was a reaction. But it's not really a reaction. It's just, when you have the truth, okay, is truth is evident and lie is obvious. So it's obvious that the mythology about Hinduism is not true. Okay, when they tell those things that on Big Bang Theory, when Sheldon explains their. It's you come and there's if you eat a hamburger, you're supposed to you drink cow urine and all that stuff, and so that stuff is obviously incorrect, right? And then people, you're insulting my religion. You're insulting your own intelligence. Okay. You cannot invent stuff and then say it is real. Okay, it's not true. You don't invent mythological characters that don't exist and then say that's my religion and it's real. And then fight and kill over an invention of the human mind. That's incorrect, right? And so you cannot make up your own religion. Your religion has to be faith based on reality, right? And so when you use money to manipulate the masses to accept a human invention as value and then murder over it, you obviously need human beings that are superior to you to correct what you're doing. Okay? Now, the truth does not need correction. The technology needs correction. Okay? So I'm not here to correct, Jesus, and I remember when Alan Gibson talked to me about this here, but no, Jesus and Muhammad are not wrong. Okay? They are correct. Well, the books, if I write down in a book that I'm gravity, does that make me gravity? No, well, then obviously the book has been changed by other people. Same thing happened with Chris Hitchens when he was sitting there criticizing people that base their religion off the Bible, like the Hindus with the drinking the cow urine if you eat a cow and so forth. And he sat there and said Moses felt free to amend the commandments. And you sit there and you explain to him that does not make any sense. This man that took 50,000 slaves and led them on Exodus would not then later, after having the Ten Commandments, sit down and write, thou shalt not covet another person's slave. Okay. You look at it and go, okay, someone else amended that and wrote that down, and that was not written down by Moses. Okay. Because it does not hold true to the whole story about Exodus, right? So, as an intelligent human being, just because I write down that I am gravity and other people agree to it, it does not make me gravity, right? So, I'm not declaring myself God, and I don't make it rain, and I don't make it snow, right? And so, when you explain this to people, and you get them to understand truth, life is eternal and grace is infinite. And then you get people, scientific community, okay? Life is eternal. Okay? They have scientific evidence through to pretty much sit there and say, okay, that's seems to hold pretty true. Okay, the this guy's in the 19 this guy here, the Judah Krishnamurti, okay, was the eternal line of Krishna and the Buddha, right? That was in the same thing with Sun Yat-sen with and so they have these people that you be fruitful, multiply, and then you have these children, and that's in the Bible: Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. That Jesus is the one like King David, okay, and it holds true. Okay. Not to mention they have the technology to follow the patterns of communication through time of who's where and what. It's pretty neat. You can sit there and look at a lot of the written documentation about where these people were at, what they were doing, and then line up the communication of the prayers and say, okay, here's what's going on. Here's this. There it is. Okay. So that's really neat. Okay. That as far as life is eternal and we share life through replications of molecular structures that share an eternal spirit, that's the life is eternal. Okay, has a lot of scientific valid evidence, tons of it. Okay, so when grace is infinite, that's the one where that's the point of contention. Okay, the God is made up. Okay, we can admit that life is eternal, but the essence being infinite, that's made up. That's just magical thinking. It's but the natural law is required, and where are you going to keep God in a box? And so when you sit there and say, well, that's the truth, but the one that causes the most contention and the most manipulation and abuse of the people, prove it, is not life is eternal, but that the origin of all things, the origin of everything is not infinite. And so what? And there's no origin of all things. And it's not infinite and omnipotent. Okay. There's no other possible explanation for eternal life. Okay. And so an eternal life does not mean that you always have a physical body. Okay. So the infinite essence is existence, and not eternal existence through the physical body and through holy covenants through the physical body. Okay. That the infinite essence transcends eternal existence, right? And so when you sit and you explain this to people, and it's not that difficult to sit down and just humbly take in, and it's not that hard to explain. It doesn't require every Sunday, I need more money to pay my bills because I lack the cojones to stand up for the Lord's Prayer with Earl, right? So, I'm afraid I'm going to get killed by all the people that would kill you. If we start living that there truth, life is eternal, grace is infinite, forgive that there didn't trespass, love one eternal, faithful peace, and share, care, give, corn, sneak, build, last, do, dop, diddly, diddly, do, dab, dab, diddly, do, do, right? And so, Earl, you're obnoxious. Hey, man, my people's from Texas and Tennessee on my dad's side, Joe. And I get the sarcasm from them, but I get the intellect to validate the sarcasm from my mom. She's from the Ruth line. Okay, my dad's from Roman lines and my mom's from Hebrew. And so I get the be able to, explain everything that I explained to you from my mom, from her side of the family. My dad's side of the family, there's a real Dad is very, God and country and mom's the type, well, fuck them if they're all gonna lie to you and kill you. The only refuge you have is faith in God, right? So fuck country. And fuck their perception of God if they're gonna kill you over money, right? That's my mother's side. And my dad's side, you never deny your faith in God. No matter what your country does to you, no matter how much they try to rot your prostate off your body, destroy your liver, okay, make you miserable, ruin your romance and your intimate life and I'm a very intimate or romantic person. A lot of people don't think so because I'm so stiffy. It's like being married to Spock. But law will tell you different. Law would tell you no, he's very romantic. And Shelley said that. She goes, no, I thought that they were so romantic, and it was like, no, law was all about, get the money and take care of me and make sure you have the money to take care of me. So all the romance in the relationship was Earl. Earl's the romantic one. Earl's the one, Earl's the one, we could be on a desert, lost without a place to go. But we're so in love with each other, that we wouldn't even know. And I don't care. Any place, anywhere, just as long as we're together, baby. That's Earl. Earl's together. Earl's Paul Davis is, I don't mind being poor, 'cause when you make love to me, honey, I couldn't ask for any more. See, that's Earl. Earl's the romantic one. He's the life is eternal, grace is infinite, ever hopeful romantic. Not a hopeless romantic. You can't be a hopeless romantic. Romance always needs hope. Even if they murder you and you pass it on to the kids, romance always needs hope. So I'm a hopeful romantic. Because life is eternal and grace is infinite, not a hopeless romantic. Hopeless, that doesn't make any sense. That's like a military intelligence, right? You know what I'm saying there? Okay. So, yeah, no, you can't have military intelligence. If you're fighting over what you want and putting everything you need at risk, you're totally disobeying natural laws, and you are not intelligent. Okay, there's no such thing as military intelligence. Okay? Do you understand? King David, where does Jesus train an army? Go read the New Testament. Where does Jesus say, I'm here to train an army to stand up to and kill all the Romans? He says, I'm here to circumcise their hearts and free the soul from the delusions of the mind. Okay? I love you guys. All right. Peace out, man. Hopefully this one will load. It's long. I wasn't even paying attention at the time I was watching the end of the Gold Cup.